everyone, and welcome to Story Time with Liz. I hope you're well. Today we're going to be reading this wonderful book, and this book is called Saving Mr. Hoot, and it's by Helen Stevens. But first, let's head over to the blurb to find out what the book is about. Come on. An owl lives in the tree outside Ben's house. Ben calls him Mr. Hoot. Every night, Ben calls to him and Mr. Hoot calls back. But when grown-ups want to chop down his tree, Mr. Hoot is in danger. Can Ben act fast enough to save him? Shall we go and find out? Come on then. Saving Mr. Hoot. There was an owl in the tree outside Ben's house. Every night, Ben called him. Woo! Woo! And the owl hooted back. Woo! 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 Ben called him Mr. Hoot. But no one else seemed to notice Mr. Hoot. Perhaps that's because owls are wild animals. They just don't do what you want them to do. So when Ben said to his dad, "Look, there he is!" Mr. Hoot hid in his nest hole and Dad couldn't see him. And when Mr. Hoot swooped down and stole his oatie biscuit, only Ben saw him. "I have to have another one," said Ben. "Mr. Hoot took mine." Mum didn't look like she believed him, but she let him have another biscuit just the same. One evening, Ben was waving to Mr. Hoot when the owl swished down and swiped the fluffy mitten right off Ben's hands. "Where's your other glove?" asked Dad. "Mr. Hoot took it," said Ben. Dad didn't look like he believed him either. That night, Ben told Mr. Hoot, "You're getting me into trouble." said Mr. Hoot. It sounded like he was laughing. Then Mr. Hoot swooshed back up to his nest in the old beech tree. Ben imagined him snuggled up with his fluffy mitten. All winter long, Ben and Mr. Hoot called to each other. Then, in springtime, Ben saw a notice by Mr. Hoot's tree. "What does tree felling mean?" he asked his mum. "Oh, it's so sad," said Mum. "They're chopping that old tree down." Ben couldn't believe it. That was Mr. Hoot's home. Grown-ups were very strange. That night, Ben didn't want a bedtime story. He was too worried. Where will Mr. Hoot live if they cut down his tree? Mum smiled. "He's not a real owl, is he? Nobody sees him but you." "He is real," shouted Ben. "I'll show you." He ran to the window and called, "Hoo, hoo, hoo." But there was no reply. "He must be out," said Ben sadly. "Come on," said Mum. "Bedtime." But Ben couldn't sleep. The old beech tree wasn't just Mr. Hoot's house. All sorts of creatures lived in it. Where would they all go? Next morning, Ben woke up to a terrible noise. There was a lady outside by the tree and she had a huge chainsaw. Ben raced to the door. "Come on, Mum and Dad, there's no time to lose." "Stop!" cried Ben. "You can't chop this tree down," said Ben. "It's Mr. Hoot's home." The chainsaw lady looked very surprised. So did all the other neighbours who came out to watch. "Who's Mr. Hoot?" said everyone. "He's an owl," said Ben, "and he lives in this tree, and he's probably hiding because he's frightened." Come back tonight and you'll see him. I promise. That night, they all camped out under the tree. Listen, said Ben, and he called. There was no reply. The children giggled. Ben called again. Still no reply. Giggled all the children. Shh, said Ben. He tried one last time. There was a long silence. Then called Mr. Hoot. Everyone gasped. You were right, Ben. There is an owl. Oh no, there isn't, said Ben. He looked through his dad's binoculars. There are 2 owls and 3 eggs. And a few weeks later, there were 2 big hoots and 3 little hoots living in the tree that Ben saved. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed that beautiful story, boys and girls, and I hope you join me next time when we read some more amazing books. In the meantime, stay tuned to find out how you can help. Hello everyone, if you enjoyed that book and you would like to purchase yourself a copy, the links will be in the descriptions below along with all my socials. And if you would like your book read on my show, that's where you'll find all the information to contact me. Thanks guys, bye! Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you'd like to see more of my content, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks guys!